What's up, it's Richie here with Statifying Football. This is week 13 of the Saturday College Football, the final regular season weekend of college football. Starting off with Georgia and Georgia Tech. Georgia destroyed Charleston Southern 56-7. Sets them in at 105, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Carson Beck 77 passing touchdowns, a touchdown and a pick. And JT Daniels 73 passing yards and a touchdown. They did turn over 3 times. They had 4 sacks defensively. But Georgia Tech got blanked by Notre Dame 55-0. Jordan Yates 96 yards and an interception. This is going to be a blowout. Georgia wins big. Alright, big, huge game, nationally relevant, and for the Big Ten, Ohio State and Michigan. Ohio State demolished Michigan State 56-7. It's 49-0 at halftime. C.J. Stroud took a leg up in the Heisman, 32-35, 432, 6 touchdown passes. Chris Olave, 7 catches, 140 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Garrett Wilson, 7 catches, 126, and 2 touchdowns. And Jackson Smith and Jigba, 10 catches, 105 yards, and a touchdown. They had 655 total yards. Whereas Michigan destroyed Maryland themselves, 59-18. Cade McNamara, 259 and 2 touchdowns. Donovan Edwards, 10 catches, 170 yards, and a touchdown. They had 503 total yards of offense. They had a kick return for a touchdown and an interception return for a touchdown. I think this game will be close for a while. Michigan's defense is really good. They have a good running game between Hassan Haskins and Blake Corum. They could possibly keep that Ohio State offense off the field. But I do think Ohio State will in the end win. It could be kind of close, maybe 30-27, 30-20, something kind of like that. But I think Ohio State ultimately will go to the Big Ten championship game and set themselves up to get into the playoffs. All right, Wake Forest and Boston College. Wake Forest, they lost to Clemson. They have to beat Boston College to go to the ACC championship game. They lost 48-27. Sam Hartman, 312, 1 touchdown and a pick. A.T. Perry, 5 catches, 113. They turned over 3 times and they forced 3 turnovers. Boston College kind of surprisingly lost to Florida State 26-23. Phil Jurkovec was off his game, 10 of 24, 148, a touchdown and pick, and ran for 59 yards and a touchdown. I think Wake Forest bounces back. This could be high scoring, but Wake Forest, I think, will have too much offense for Boston College to slow down. I think Wake Forest, they are pissed off, they're mad, they want to play for the ACC title. I think they win, maybe kind of big, and they will go play for the ACC championship. All right, Texas Tech and Baylor. Texas Tech got blanked 23-0 by Oklahoma State. They didn't do anything. They only had 108 yards of offense. Colin Schooler defensively had 13 tackles, a half tackle for loss, and a pass defense. Baylor was able to get past Kansas State 20-10. Gary Bohannon passed for 76 yards and a touchdown. He got hurt. Blake Shapen came in, filled in admirably, 137 passing and 44 rushing yards. It actually could be pretty close. Texas Tech is a pretty good team. When I say Baylor might have a little bit too much with their running game for Texas Tech to handle, so I think Baylor does win. And Baylor could be going to the Big 12 championship game. If Baylor wins and if Oklahoma State beats Oklahoma, Baylor will go. So a big game for Baylor. Houston and UConn. Houston, they beat Memphis 31-13. Clayton Tune, 264, touchdown, 2 interceptions, but ran for 59 yards and a touchdown. Nathaniel Dell, 7 catches, 100 yards and a touchdown. He's 35 yards away from 1,000 yards receiving. UConn got them killed by UCF 49-17. Steve Krajewski, 18-42, 174, 3 interceptions in that one. I don't think this is going to be close. Houston is way too good. They're already going to play in the AAC championship game, and they're going to kill UConn. All right, big rivalry game between FSU and Florida. Florida State Seminoles and the Florida Gators. Both are 5-6. Both want to win to get to a bowl game. FSU, they beat Boston College 26-23. Jordan Thomas passed for 251 and 3 touchdowns. They did have 13 penalties, but defensively had 4 sacks and a safety. Florida, they lost in overtime to Missouri, got their coach fired. They lost 24-23. Emory Jones passed for 261, ran for 45. Jacob Copeland, 8 catches, 102. Defensively, had 5 sacks, and Tyron Hopper had 12 tackles and 2 tackles for loss. I really don't know what Florida team is going to show up. Florida State's been playing better. Florida, they've been playing worse. Their coach is fired. All that being said, I still think Florida is a better team. It'll be in Gainesville. I think they'll win just by off sheer audacity and rivalry, and the fans will get them through it. I think Florida will actually win that game and go to a bowl game. All right, Maryland and Rutgers both are 5-6, trying to get to a bowl. Maryland got killed by Michigan 59-18. Toledo Tagovailoa passed for 178, a touchdown and pick, and ran for 30 yards and a touchdown. Rutgers got blanked by Penn State 28-0. Noah Vigil 12 of 23, 91 yards. They only had 160 yards of offense. Drew Singleton 12 tackles and 1.5 tackles for loss. And Tyshawn Fogg 12 tackles, 1 sack, and 1 tackle for loss. I'm kind of leaning towards Rutgers here. Rutgers has a good defense, not much of an offense. Maryland has Toledo Tagovailoa. They've been really good on offense this year, or pretty good on offense, I would say. My head, I'm kind of leaning with. I don't know. I just have this feeling Rutgers is gonna win. Yeah, I guess I'll just go with my gut there. I'll just say Rutgers. They'll be bowl eligible. All right, Army and Liberty. Army, they were able to get past UMass 33-17. Tyrell Robinson ran for 137 and a touchdown. They ran for 377 as a team. Defensively, they had 4 sacks with Andre Carter getting 3 of them. They forced 4 turnovers. Ilya Lowen 10 tackles and a tackle for loss. Liberty, they've been turning over too much. They got beat pretty soundly by Louisiana Lafayette. Lost 42-14. Malik Willis was really off his game. 14 of 34, 162, 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. They had 6 turnovers in that game. Rashad Harding had 10 tackles there. This will be an interesting game. Liberty does have an offense that they can put up points in instantly, but they've been turning it over a lot. Army's got the triple option team. They have a pretty good defense. I'm actually kind of leaning towards Army to get the win here, so I'll go with that. All right, Navy and Temple. Navy coming off a last-second loss to East Carolina, 38-35. Ty Lavate, 4-4, 37 yards, 2 touchdowns, ran for 51 yards. Carlinos AC ran for 155 and a touchdown. They had 345 rushing yards and a kick return for a touchdown. Even Gibbons had 10 tackles, and Raven Lane had 10 tackles and a tackle for loss. Temple got killed by Tulsa 44-10. Justin Lynch 162, a touchdown and a pick. I actually think Navy's going to win. Their offense, their triple option, they've been able to get it going. They haven't turned it into any wins this year. Only 2, but I do think they'll get it going. I think that will be enough to beat Temple. All right, Miami of Ohio and Kent State. The winner of this game will win the MAC East and go play in the MAC Championship game. Miami of Ohio beat Bowling Green last weekend 34-7. Brett Gabbert 227, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Jack Sorensen 4 catches, 111 and a touchdown. Defensively, they had 8 sacks in that game. Kent State was able to shut out Akron 38-0. Dustin Crum didn't do much passing, but he ran for 114 yards and 2 touchdowns. Marquez Cooper ran for 135 and a touchdown. They actually ran for 410 yards. Defensively, they had 6 sacks, with CJ West getting 3 of them and only allowed 188 total yards. I do think this could be kind of a close game, but I actually think I'm going to go with Kent State's offense getting the win here. That flash fast offense I think will be a little too much for Miami of Ohio, but it should be an interesting game. Akron and Toledo. Akron lost 38-0 to Kent State. Zach Gibson 111 passing. They only had 188 total yards. Andrew Bem had 11 tackles. Toledo, they beat Ohio. It's kind of a ho-hum victory, 35-23. DeCon Finn passed for 150 and a touchdown, ran for 28 more. Brian Koback ran for 203 yards and 4 rushing touchdowns. They had 12 penalties, but defensively had 5 sacks. Jonathan Jones, 14 tackles, half a sack and a half tackle for loss. Tyson Anderson, 10 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. Maxon Hook, 10 tackles, 1 pass defense. And Deontay Johnson had 10 tackles. I don't think this will be close. Toledo's offense is way too good, and they may blank Akron. They're going to win, I think, pretty big. All right, Miami and Duke. Miami Hurricanes, they beat Virginia Tech 38-26. Tyler Van Dyke, 357 passing, 3 touchdowns. Charleston Rambo, 7 catches, 116. Only the 5th Hurricane player ever to have a 1,000-yard receiving season, which is mind-boggling me, all the great receivers that have come out of Miami. Defensively, had 4 sacks. Duke, they got shellacked by Louisville 62-22. Gunnar Holmberg, 176 and an interception. However, freshman Riley Leonard came in, did really well. I think they're picking up. They might have something next year with him. He was 13 of 13 for 99 yards and ran for 70 yards with 1 touchdown. Jake Bobo had 9 receptions for 102 yards. I don't think this will be really that close. I think Miami will score all over them. Duke can score a little bit, and they may put up 20 or so points, but I think Miami probably puts up maybe around 40. All right, Louisiana Tech and Rice. Louisiana Tech lost to Southern Miss 35-19. Aaron Allen was kind of pretty bad, 11 of 26 for 100 yards and 2 interceptions. They had 5 turnovers. They forced 3 turnovers with a fumble return for a touchdown. Tyler Grubbs had 13 tackles and 3 tackles for losses. Rice lost a relatively close game to UTEP 38-28. Jake Constantine 183 passing and 2 touchdowns. Luke McCaffrey 5 of 13, 47 yards plus 43 yards and a rushing touchdown. I actually think Rice is going to win this game. Both teams have been pretty decent on offense, but Rice has been more consistent this year and has played the tough teams pretty tough, while Louisiana Tech is losing to bad teams like Southern Miss. So I'm going to go Rice winning the game. All right, UTSA and North Texas, kind of a big game here. UTSA still undefeated. They are ranked. They're already going to be playing in this USA Championship game. They were to just get by UAB 34-31. They had a kind of a miracle touchdown with 3 seconds left that got tipped and they caught it. Frank Harris passed for 323 and 3 touchdowns. DeCorian Clark, 6 catches, 104. Rashard Wisdom, 10 tackles and a pass defense. But this is bigger for North Texas. North Texas is 5-6. They're trying to get their 6th win and become bowl eligible. They destroyed Florida International 49-7. Austin Audie passed for 219, 2 touchdowns, ran for 21 yards and a touchdown. DeAndre Torrey ran for 109 and 2 touchdowns, putting him over 1,000 yards. Akaika Ragsdale ran for 102 and a touchdown. Roderick Burns, 3 catches, 106 and a touchdown. They ran for 378 yards and had 611 total yards. This will be a really fun game. UTSA is a really good team, but North Texas, I think they've won like 4 or 5 in a row to put themselves in this situation. I believe it's 4 in a row. I'm trying to debate if, I don't know, if I want North Texas to win. I want to see teams get that bowl game, and it will be an upset. I'm going to call it. I'm going to say North Texas wins. All right, Charlotte and Old Dominion, big game here. Both teams 5-6 trying to get to a bowl. Charlotte lost 49-28 to Marshall. Chris Reynolds passed for 176, 3 touchdowns. Jonathan Alexander, 12 tackles. Luke Martin, 10 tackles. Old Dominion, they beat Middle Tennessee State 24-17. Hayden Wolf passed for 237 and a touchdown. Allie Jennings, 4 catches, 146. This is really going to go back and forth. Old Dominion, they won 4 in a row to put themselves in this situation. They've been playing really well. Charlotte's kind of tanked down. They have a really good offense, though. It'd be interesting. Old Dominion is favored. I'm actually going to go with Charlotte here. I'm going to say Chris Reynolds and that offense finally get a little bit going in this game, and I think they will become bowl eligible. All right, Texas State and Arkansas State. Texas State lost 35-21 to Coastal Carolina. Tyler Vitt passed for 106 and a touchdown. Calvin Hill ran for 100 yards and a touchdown. Arkansas State lost kind of close to Georgia State 28-20. Lane Hatcher, 273, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Lincoln Perry, 6 catches, 118 and a touchdown. They had -3 rushing yards in the game as a team. Defensively, they forced 3 turnovers, had a fumble return for a touchdown. Malik Straker, 14 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and Charles Willicks had 10 tackles. Both teams like to put the ball up a lot. I'm going to say Arkansas State will actually win this game. I think Lane Hatcher is the better quarterback than anybody Texas State has. So I'll go Arkansas State with the win here. All right, Troy and Georgia State. Big game for Troy. Even though they just fired their head coach, they are 5-6. If they win, they can get to a bowl game. They lost 45-7 to App State. Gunnar Watson 11-21, 109, a touchdown, a pick. They only had 142 total yards, but Carlton Marshall, one of the top linebackers in the country, he had 18 tackles in the game. Georgia State, they beat Arkansas State to become bowl eligible, 28-20. Darren Granger, not very much good passing, 10-21, 152 and a pick, but he did run for 46 yards and a touchdown. Jameis Williams ran for 125 and 2 touchdowns. Jamari Thrash had 4 catches for 103. They ran for 282 as a team. They turned over 3 times defensively, though, they had 6 sacks. Unfortunately, I'm going to pull for Troy, but I think Georgia State probably is the better of a team. Maybe Troy, because they fired their coach. They'll be motivated because they want to go to a bowl, but we'll see how much, how focused they'll be, how distracted they are because of that firing. So I'm going to go Georgia State actually with the win there. Georgia Southern, App State. Georgia Southern, they lost 34-17 to BYU. Connor Sagaski came in 11 of 14, 122 a pick, ran for 20 yards. Eldrick Robinson had 10 tackles. Appalachia State, they already sewed up their spot in the Sun Belt title game. They beat Troy 45-7. Chase Bryce, 212, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Nate Knoll ran for 102 and a touchdown. This could be kind of close because Georgia Southern, the triple option, they can keep it close there, but I think Appalachia State will outlast them for the win. All right, FIU and Southern Miss. FIU got killed by North Texas 49-7. Max Bortenschlager, 15 of 32, 167, a touchdown, a pick. Richard James, 13 tackles, 2 tackles for loss. Jamal Potts with 12 tackles there. Southern Miss, they got by Louisiana Tech 35-19. Weirdly, they started Frank Gore at quarterback. He's their running back. He started him at quarterback because they don't have a quarterback. He was actually 4 of 8 for 75 yards with 2 touchdown passes and ran for 1. Dejon Richard ran for 120 yards. They had 3 turnovers, but they forced 5 and had an interception return for a touchdown. FIU, they've been in shambles pretty much all season long. Southern Miss seems to have been getting better the last 2 games, and I do think Southern Miss will actually win this game. All right, UMass and New Mexico State. UMass, they lost relatively close game, 33-17 to Army. Garrett Juro, 7 of 13, 78 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks, ran for 31 yards. But Ellis Merriweather, he ran for 110 yards. He's 30 yards away from a 1,000-yard rushing season. They turned over 4 times in that game. Gerald Johnson, 14 tackles, 1 sack, 1 sack for loss. Deshaun Ross, 10 tackles. New Mexico State, they did not keep it close against Kentucky, lost 56-16. Jonah Johnson, 16 of 35, 181, an interception. Defensively, they did force 4 turnovers and had a fumble return for a touchdown. This really could go either way. New Mexico State has a pretty good quarterback, but Ellis Merriweather for UMass is a pretty good running back. I think that's what they'll lean on to win that game. It may be a pretty low-scoring game, but I'm going to go actually UMass winning behind Ellis Merriweather. All right, Hawaii and Wyoming. Hawaii won an awesome shootout against Colorado State, 50-45. Shimon Cordero passed for 406, 2 touchdowns, ran for 34 yards and a touchdown. Zion Bowen, 6 catches, 172 yards and a touchdown. They put up 535 total yards. Defensively, they had 5 sacks, 3 turnovers, and an interception return for a touchdown. Muasa had 13 tackles, 2 sacks, 2.5 tackles for loss, and a pass defense, where Chima Azuna had 10 tackles. Wyoming had a big upset against Utah State. They destroyed them 44-17, got themselves bowl eligible. Levi Williams was 12 of 15 for 242, 2 touchdowns, a pick, ran for 22 yards. Titus Swen ran for 169 and 2 touchdowns. One of them was a 98-yard touchdown run. Xavier Valade ran for 145. Isaiah Nair, 4 catches, 125, and a touchdown. They had 604 total yards of offense. Defensively forced 3 turnovers, had a kick return for a touchdown, and 17 tackles by Chad Muma, one of the top linebackers in the nation. And this will be an interesting game. Wyoming plays good defense, has a really good running game. Hawaii, normally known for their offense, they kind of been in and out this year. Sevengandara has been hurt, but at least last game, they were able to put up quite a bit of points. I'm kind of leaning towards Hawaii here. I mean, Wyoming is favored by 10, but if Hawaii can get that passing game going, I don't know if Wyoming can quite keep up. I'm still gonna go with Wyoming and that defense and that running game. All right, so those are my picks for noon games. Check out my other picks for all the 3:30 games and the primetime games later. Peace.